Hello, 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 hello. So let me share. Wow, Doncaster. Awesome. Awesome. You know, I'm always amazed when I see that we have people from like different parts of the world because of the obvious reasons that we have, but still it amazes me to see such things going on. And yeah, as usual, let me start with our introductory slides. Yeah, so it's not 17 but 18 years old. Yeah, so 18 years on the market, and as you know, we are the official representative of our partners such as Cambridge University Press and Assessment, National Geographic Learning, among publications, and many, many more. And we are a distributor of the literature of those publishing houses in our country. Yeah, so we offer you more than 10,000 of different study materials. Yeah, and you can pick and choose what you need to use, be it dictionaries, be it trainers, be it full courses to teach the language to your students, and so on and so on. Yeah. Also, we offer you a partnership program. Yeah, you can become a partner of Linguist. Probably you have seen that we have our first ever Linguist educational partner. Yeah, the school that joined this new partnership program. If you are interested in becoming a partner, yeah, a part of this program, let me know. Also, we are very proud to say that almost 1 million students, even more than that, they use our workbooks and textbooks that were adapted to Noosh by the Linguist Publishing House, and of course our in-house brand Formula. Also, you can get personal offers, yeah, your own assigned managers, tiered discounts, and quick delivery all around Ukraine. Also, you definitely know this, we host quite a lot of webinars year-round, and it's all about giving you the best experience that we can. Yeah, and also we have our all-Ukrainian conferences, such as Linguist United Conference Ukraine that we usually host in spring, and also our back-to-school conferences that we usually have in August. If you need any help, you can have a personal consultation on demand. We are always happy to help our customers, to help our colleagues, teachers, with all of the questions that they get. And Linguist, it's not just English, yeah, it's also German, it's French, it's Spanish, Italian, Polish languages, and many, many more. And as for our in-house brand Formula, they create Noosh-oriented textbooks and workbooks for subjects such as пізнаємо природу, yeah, or science, if you want to call it that, math, ICT, and science is for primary school, math for primary and secondary school, ICT also primary and secondary school. So if any of your colleagues who teach these subjects would want to change the textbooks that they are using, let them know about Formula, and I think they will enjoy those textbooks. And you have massive methodological support. It has lots of components, and everybody will be well taken care of. And of course, the Certiport. So if your school is looking to become a testing center and want to be able to like provide certificates for their own students or for other people to prove that they are competent in certain programs, yeah, they can contact our project manager that works with Certiport. If you want to, let me know. I will put you in contact with our manager, and she will tell you all about Certiport. But our main topic today, yeah, is called Making English Matter, yeah, integrating the 4 skills, so speaking, writing, reading, and listening, through projects that address real-world challenges, because we know that we need to keep things relevant, we need to keep things interesting for our students, because if it's something other than that, yeah, they won't be very involved into the process of learning something. Again, won't talk too much about myself, because you definitely know everything that there is to know about myself, because you all attend our webinars every month, yeah, every time we host one. So yeah, I usually joke with my colleagues, yeah, that all of us are still teaching, because we have webinars, and again, it's not like teaching students, but in a way it's teaching people, yeah, it's sharing our experiences, and yeah, in a way teaching, yeah, providing some new people with some new information. So I am always happy to help you learn something new. Yeah, hello everyone in the chat box. Happy to see you all here. The question that is asked all the time, yeah, about how can you get your hands on a certificate? Wow, we have people even from Los Angeles. Wow. Kyiv, yeah, okay. Hello everyone. So you know that we have had this rule that we will send out the certificates 2 days after the webinar. Usually it worked when we had our webinars from Linguist Publishing House on Tuesdays. Now we have moved to Wednesdays, so we are still keeping Thursday as the day of sending out the certificates. Yeah, hello everyone, Odessa, hello. And I will switch to Ukrainian to explain, yeah, how you can get a certificate. Отже, нагадую, так, що відправка сертифікатів має відбутися завтра. Це не означає, що завтра о 9 ранку ви отримаєте вже лист із сертифікатами. Упродовж дня, зазвичай це ближче десь до обідньої пори, буде здійснюватися розсилка. Тому очікуйте, будь ласка, лист у вашій поштовій скринці. Нагадую, що зазвичай наші листи з розсилок, якщо це особливо пошта Google, Gmail, вона може потрапити, ось цей лист з розсилки може потрапити в абсолютно різну папочку. Десь у соціальній мережі, десь там ще в якусь там в основні чи в будь-які інші варіанти. Тому, будь ласка, перевірте всі ваші папки, щоб ви були впевнені, що ви точно отримали чи не отримали листа. Це перший пункт. По-друге, коли ви переходите за посиланням, яке є в листі для завантаження сертифікату, так, ви потрапляєте на сторінку з опитувальником нашим. Тому не забувайте, будь ласка, що вам потрібно заповнювати опитувальник. Так, можливо, це процедура, яка не дуже всіх влаштовує, не всіх задовольняє, але це такий спосіб нам зібрати ваш фідбек після наших заходів. Тому, будь ласка, допоможіть нам зібрати цей фідбек своїми відповідями. Ось, коли ви, заповнивши форму, так, наприкінці опитувальника натискаєте кнопочку, яка зветься «Надіслати», то, будь ласка, не закривайте сторінку з опитувальником, бо після того, коли ви натиснули кнопочку «Надіслати», вам відразу з'явиться нова сторіночка, на якій буде написано, що дякуємо за заповнення форми, знайти свій сертифікат можна за посиланням нижче. Оскільки форма для нашого опитувальника, вона у нас одна й та сама на увесь календарний рік, так? Тому порою навіть довше буває, але зазвичай один календарний рік як мінімум. І бувають випадки, коли учасники вебінарів не відразу в той же місяць, коли був вебінар, можуть перейти його завантажити, так? Тому ми залишаємо посилання на усі папки із сертифікатами за увесь календарний рік. Саме тому першим посиланням, яке ви будете бачити, коли вже натиснули кнопочку «Надіслати», вам відкрилася нова сторінка, це буде січневий вебінар. Далі буде йти січень, тоді лютий, березень, квітень, травень і так далі. Тому, будь ласка, догортайте ось ту сторіночку донизу, спустіться донизу і знаходьте сьогоднішню дату нашу, тобто 12.11.2025 року, назву нашого вебінару і, відповідно, посилання на папку з сертифікатом. Коли ви потрапите в папку, ви можете, якщо дуже хочеться, можете прогортати через усі ті сертифікати, які там будуть відразу в папці, або, щоб не витрачати даремно час, скористайтеся папкою, яка буде зватися «Для швидкого пошуку», і в цій папці є документ під назвою «Перелік учасників». Там у нас є пронумерований перелік учасників, які зареєструвалися та були присутні на вебінарі. Тобто ті, відповідно, хто отримали сертифікати. Навпроти кожного імені прізвища буде посилання на сертифікат. Тому ви без жодних проблем зможете знайти свій сертифікат і його завантажити. Нагадую, що не забувайте, якою мовою ви вносили свої дані під час реєстрації на вебінар. Тому що, якщо ви вносили їх англійською, то, відповідно, в сертифікаті вони будуть відображені англійською мовою. Якщо українською, відповідно, українською. Також у папці із ось тим документом «Перелік учасників» буде програма вебінару. Ви можете її також завантажити звідти без жодних проблем. Нагадую, що на даний час у нас ще поки є діючі вимоги до сертифікатів. Всі інші вимоги до того, як сертифікати виглядають, що вони мають містити, ще поки не вступили в дію. Тому наші сертифікати на даний час відповідають всім вимогам від МОН. Ви їх без жодних проблем можете використовувати для підвищення своєї кваліфікації. Бо кожен з сертифікатів чітко має ваше ім'я, прізвище вказане, назву заходу, коли сертифікат був виданий, скільки тривав, є індивідуальний номер для кожного учасника на сертифікаті, є програма, яку ви можете додати до сертифікату. Тобто без жодних проблем абсолютно ви можете використовувати ці матеріали. У лінгвіста є квед, за яким ми можемо надавати такі послуги. Okay, do you have any questions? Okay, is it possible to have two variants of certificates in English and in Ukrainian? It is demanded by my authorities. Well, if they really actually demand it, you can contact me after the webinar and I will make you two certificates in Ukrainian and in English, but just to give you the heads up, I can only make them with the same number. I can make them with different numbers. Yeah, so just contact me after the webinar in Viber or in Telegram or in email, however you prefer, and I will help you with that. Okay, Чи потрібно затверджувати сертифікат на педраді? Наскільки мені відомо, в будь-якому випадку, коли розглядається ситуація з зарахуванням сертифікатів, то будь-які з них розглядаються і затверджуються. Тобто, мені здається, що це є обов'язкова історія для всіх сертифікатів, не лише для наших, але і для будь-яких сертифікатів, що їх потрібно затверджувати на педраді. Тобто, приймається рішення, чи зараховуються ці сертифікати, чи не зараховуються. Okay, let me check. Okay. You're welcome, everyone. Так, пане Сергій, напишіть мені, будь ласка, зараз в чаті. Ви слухали уважно моє пояснення того, як отримати сертифікат? Просто напишіть так, чудово. Ще раз. Прийде лист на ту пошту, за якою ви реєструвались на вебінар. В мене немає жодної іншої вашої пошти, на яку я зможу це відправити. Лист із сертифікатом, розумієте? Тобто я можу відправити лист, ну не я, а наш контент-менеджер, який займається відправками після вебінарів. Тобто ми можемо надіслати фідбек, так, на лише ту пошту, яку ми отримали від вас після реєстрації на захід. Окей. So, are there any other questions? Because if not, then I will move on to the agenda and to our webinar. Okay, glad to hear that you understand. Okay, so I think we can move on. Yeah, I will periodically check the chat box, and if needed, I will answer the questions. Okay, so when it comes to our agenda, yeah, we will start with the why. Yeah, we will check, yeah, understand the challenges that we face in our modern classroom. Because for some of us, they are very obvious. For some of us, maybe not, or maybe we experience them in different degrees. Yeah, and I jokingly like to call these things pain points. Something that we all face that pains us, more or less, yeah? Next, we will look at the how part, yeah? So how can we change all of these pain points into something else, yeah? And we will take a look at project-based learning, which can be our best solution here, yeah? Then we will see how project-based learning is working with using practical examples from our textbooks for grade 8, which are Prepare Ukrainian edition and Full Blast Plus. Yeah, but these examples will work for all of our textbooks, starting from grade 5 and until grade 8 at this point in time. Next year, grade 9. And we will see how we can tackle many real-world challenges, such as like media literacy, social responsibility, and definitely science, because CLIL is the way to go. And after that, we will address two of our most important questions. Yeah. So how can we make it all work? When I say two, I mean, how can we manage a project without it turning into chaos? Yeah, and how can we assess projects and do it fairly and objectively without any suspicion from our students that we are deliberately making it hard for them? And of course, we will have a few minutes to answer your questions, yeah? I will hopefully have those few minutes. Let's get started, yeah? So, the challenges that we all face, yeah? More often than not, they look like this when it comes to the classroom, yeah? We all have faced this in every classroom, be it primary, be it secondary, yeah? So this is disengagement, yeah? So students are asking and thinking, yeah, why are we learning this? this is so boring. Yeah, we don't need this. It's not interesting enough. When will I ever use this? Yeah, so why is it needed? Yeah, more often than not, the answer to some of these questions are because you will need it when you are doing the test. Yeah, because you need to show how much you know. And also us as teachers, yeah, we juggle a lot of things. Yeah, we need to put together everything. Yeah, so the papers that we grade, the workbooks, we need to keep track of our lesson plans. Yeah, lots of paperwork. We need to also remember about our family. Yeah, keep it all in mind. Yeah, also deal with parents of our students, and so on and so on. And we need to keep all of this up. Yeah, and also keep students engaged into the lesson and how all of this works together. Yeah, and also don't forget to teach the core niche competencies. Yeah, among all of these things that we already have on our plates. Yeah, critical thinking, collaboration, creativity. So more often than not, what we do during lessons is a cycle of grammar drills. Yeah, so the rules of the grammar drills, so our students automatically can answer all of the questions, vocabulary, tasks that help students practice vocabulary, and basically we do all of the same things over and over again. And this will lead us to our key pain points. One of them is my students are bored, to say it in general. Yeah, so the problem is that our students, yeah, are still stuck in that traditional language learning, which is more often than not is a passive process. Yeah, so they are receiving the information, but they are not using it practically, yeah, during lessons. Let's be honest, yeah, more often than not, the one speaking English is actually the teacher, not the students. And students, yeah, in other words, students see English as something abstract and not a practical tool for them to use each and every day. The grammar that they are learning, yeah, it doesn't feel real to them because they are not putting it into a practical use during lessons. And the symptoms, yeah, that can show us that the problem is happening is, of course, that our students have low motivation to do things. They participate less, yeah, than we want them to. I don't even know how to say this in English correctly. Yeah, so they practice as much as they are motivated. And of course, they keep up with the constant questions. Why are we doing this? Why are we learning all of this grammar? We won't be using it sometime in the future. We won't need it. Yeah, and so on and so on. The complaining. And so they basically see English as a set of rules that they need to memorize to pass the test at the end of the module or a unit, and not a living tool that will help them accomplish something practical. Yeah. Then we have our second pain point, which I prefer to call, how do I really teach competencies when it comes to niche? Yeah. So our problem, the definition of the problem here can be called competencies versus content. Yeah. So the niche framework is very good. It asks us as teachers, yeah, to help build in our students real world competencies that they will need in the future. But how can we teach all of these things, yeah? Critical thinking, collaboration, social responsibility, different ICT skills when it comes to literacy in ICT, and so on, yeah? It's very hard to teach critical thinking from a worksheet, yeah, because it's not something that comes in like theory, right? It's something that comes with experience and comparing different things, making conclusions, and so on, right? And you can just use a task with gaps that you need to fill, yeah, and expect your students to learn critical thinking, yeah, or learn social responsibility, and so on. And all of these skills, they can't be taught in a vacuum, yeah. They must be practiced with a meaningful context, which our textbooks help to provide. And the symptoms that can show you that this problem exists in your classroom is that we test the grammar, the vocabulary in our students, and we expect our students, yeah, to learn to think and to collaborate together. Of course, more often than not, our hopes actually become reality, but it won't happen overnight. Yeah, it will take time. And when you start working with a classroom, when they enter grade 5, yeah, you will probably see results somewhere in the middle of grade 5, maybe closer to the end of grade 5, at the beginning of grade 6, and so on, yeah. You won't see them happen with a snap of your fingers, yeah. And our next pain point, yeah, so something I think all of us have encountered, yeah, is that my mixed ability class is hard to engage. We have different levels of knowledge in our students, yeah, but the textbook provides us with the one-size-fits-all tasks. Yeah, so it's a traditional test or exercise that has one right answer, yeah. And the students who are more advanced in their levels, they are bored, yeah, because they spent 3 minutes doing the task and now they are bored because they are waiting on the students that are struggling to finish the task, yeah. And those who are struggling, they are overwhelmed, they need to keep up with everybody else, and they just give up on finishing the task, yeah. And of course, the symptoms that you can see in your classrooms is that a small group of students participates while the rest are left behind. They are not left behind on purpose, they are left behind in terms of their skills, yeah, because it takes them twice as much time to finish an exercise as it would for other students, yeah, those who are more advanced in their skills. And we need to think, yeah, to put our creative juices to work and think about how can we create a task that will keep everyone engaged, yeah, keep the advanced students not bored, yeah, but fulfilled with work enough so they won't show their boredom, yeah, to other students, and enough tasks or enough complexity in the task for struggling students to finish around the same time as the advanced students. And one of the best solutions that I can give you is the project-based learning. So what is it? Yeah, so it's not like a fun Friday activity that we can have with our students, yeah. It's a dynamic approach where our students actively explore real-world problems and challenges, yeah, by using the materials that they see in the textbook. And it's a very powerful pedagogical approach, yeah, and it basically shifts the classroom dynamic. Yeah, because students are given a challenge or a problem that they need to solve, not the topic, but something that they are working with to make a decision to solve a problem. Yeah, so again, it's not like we are talking about food. Yeah, so what food do you think is the healthiest? Yeah, or soft drinks are harmful for you. Why? Is there actually a soft drink that won't be harmful for your health, for your teeth, and so on and so on? Yeah, and again, it's it's needed from the students, yeah, to use English to create something meaningful, a product, let's say it like that, yeah, to solve the problem that they have encountered, yeah, while working on a project. And how our project-based learning can help us solve the pains that we saw before, yeah? So let's see how it can connect directly with all of the pains. So maybe your students are dying of boredom, yeah? The project-based learning is an antidote to all of this, yeah? Because it's active and it's purposeful, yeah? So for example, you will see a little bit later on, after a few slides, one of the life skills pages from Prepare, and it has fake news, yeah, as a topic, yeah, identifying fake news. And for example, to to cure the boredom in your students, yeah, we can tell them, yeah, so read the news and determine which ones are true, which ones are false, yeah. And of course, to do that, they need to be able to read in English and understand words in English, yeah. Or if you ask them to create their own fake news when they are giving a report on something, yeah, they need to use English to create those fake news. Competencies are also covered, yeah, because they are already embedded in the task, yeah. So you can't create a fake news report without actually thinking critically, yeah, because you need to be able to determine what will give it away, yeah. So how do people understand if the news are fake or not, yeah? Because I taught myself that I need to read about something that happened in at least 2 or 3 sources. And if all of them are saying the same thing, yeah, then it's fine. But if there are differences, I will go to the 4th source or the 5th and continue checking until I find the correct information. Mixed ability classes, yeah, mixed ability classrooms, also covered, yeah, because our project-based learning allows for differentiated roles in what our students do, yeah. A strong writer can write a script for the fake news. The strong speaker can present the news, yeah. The artistic student can help design the backdrop for the news, or I don't know, create a video or a photo or anything, yeah, that will support the fake news report. And a tech-savvy student can help edit all of it, yeah, combine all of this and make it work. All of our students nowadays, they are very knowledgeable about how TikTok works, how Instagram works, and they can even showcase their work that they do for the projects, yeah, on those platforms. So let them try it and let them actually use it for something good. Okay. Let's look at our framework that we already have. Yeah, so because while all of this sounds great, it also sounds like a lot of extra work, but we have everything already ready for us, yeah, to work with. We basically don't have to reinvent the wheel. Yeah, we don't have to spend a lot of time to think about how we can accomplish all of this, because the core textbooks that you already have in your classrooms, such as Prepare and Full Blast, they already do it for you. Yeah, they are practically built for this. We have the projects in many different sections of both of these textbooks that are basically woven into the material of the textbook, and they are also giving you a clear path from language input to the creative output that will show the product of our students' work. Yeah. So example 1. Yeah, and those who work with our textbooks in schools can leave us some comments in the chat box and tell me if you agree or not. Yeah, so let's look at the first example that we have. Yeah, so critical thinking and media literacy. So one of the projects that is at the end of Prepare Grade 8, yeah, shows us one of the real world challenges. Yeah, we are surrounded by fake news. How do we identify what is real and what is not? Yeah, could anything be more relevant than this to our students, especially in the day and age that we live in right now? Yeah, because the information war can be sometimes even more damaging because it plants doubts in our minds and it makes us question everything. Yeah, and it sometimes can lead to not so expected results. Yeah, and for example here, students, yeah, read and analyze the examples that are given in the article that exist on the textbook pages. Yeah, and then their project is to create their own news report. Yeah, so work in a group, create a short news report about a real or invented local event. Yeah, so they can use the questions that are in the project section or modify them however they see fit. So for example, yeah, organize an information campaign about fake news for your school. Yeah, use the questions to help you plan. Can you define fake news in a simple, clear way? Have there been any fake stories? And so on and so on. So, which skills are integrated here, and which skills can we help our students improve? Yeah. So, our students read and analyze the text to identify fake news. Yeah, they make decisions based on what they have read and what they have analyzed. Yeah, in the article before this project. Yeah, then after they have decided on the path they are taking for their project, they must collaborate together, discuss, and plan their report. Yeah, what they will be talking about, what news will be real or fake, yeah, how to present it, how to make it believable for others to actually believe in the fake news, and so on and so on. Yeah, plan how everything will work out, who takes which role, and how it will go from there. Yeah, the writing part, because students will need to write the script for the news segment or for this information campaign about fake news. Yeah, they need to write it all down, create something new, and then they need to present it all. Yeah, so already our 4 core skills are showcased here. and you didn't put that much work into it, yeah? You just let your students to read some information, yeah? Make connections, yeah? Come to decisions, and then go from there, yeah? And again, it doesn't mean that every fake news report or information campaign will be the same, yeah, because each and every of your student, every one of your students will have their own different ideas, yeah, what should be fake, how to present it, and so on and so on. In the end, your students will not just be learning about fake news, how they work, and how to avoid them, yeah? They, in a way, will become their own critical thinking journalists of their own classroom. And in the future, when they encounter any fake news, they will easily recognize those fake news and understand how to avoid them. Okay, example number 2, yeah? Social responsibility and environment. One more example from Prepare 8. This time it's from the social responsibility pages, yeah? Respecting the environment. So the real world challenge that we face here is that our environment is very much in trouble. Yeah, what can we as a community, of course, in different parts of Ukraine, do about it? Yeah, so how can we help to relieve the environment from all of these bad things that are happening? Yeah, and our goal here, yeah, for this project is basically to create an environmental campaign. And this environmental campaign can be presented however your students like. It can be a video, a presentation, a poster, whichever they prefer. Again, let's take a look at the skills integration. Yeah, so they read the text before they actually start working with the project. Yeah, they read the text on respecting the environment. So what are the ways of people respecting the environment? Then they listen and speak, yeah, or basically collaborate, because they need to work in groups to brainstorm ideas on how to present this environmental campaign, yeah, to everybody else. They need to discuss the ideas, they will debate, then when they reach the decision, they will start planning, yeah. Then when it comes to actually writing and creating the project, yeah, they need to, again, create what they have decided to create, be it a video, be it a presentation or a poster. And of course, it will involve like making a scrap version of the poster, of the video, yeah, going minute by minute of the video, of the presentation, yeah, choosing the design and so on and so on. So basically, it's, again, collaboration, aside from just using their ICT skills that they have. And of course, at the end, they improve their speaking, yeah, because they need to share their presentation or video or poster, whatever they decided to come up with, and show it to the class, yeah. And of course, in the end, we have the sentence that says, then vote on the best idea. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that we need to actually have the voting for the best idea, yeah, in the classroom. Of course, all of these projects can be done in the classroom, and we can put these projects in the corridor and allow other students to read them, yeah, to get familiar with them, and have those students vote. Yeah, and maybe you can, again, modify it a little bit. You can turn this into a campaign for, maybe you have 2 or 3 8 8 grades in your school, or 2 or just 1, and you can ask your students to think about ideas that will be actually applicable to your school when it comes to the environment, yeah? And then when they present it in front of everybody else, the other students will be voting, and the idea that will gather the most votes will be actually put into work. Of course, if it's possible, yeah? You can ask your headmasters at school, you can ask, I don't know, other teachers, yeah, if they want to cooperate with you on this. So again, there's plenty of opportunities for you to turn this project into something more meaningful for your classroom, for your school, and for your students, yeah? Nobody says that you are just limited to what is given in these requirements from the textbook, right? It's all up to your creativity here. One more example from Full Blast Plus, yeah, this time. And of course, our CLIL lessons, yeah, they are very important and very fun, to be honest with you. And this one is about science. And we have here the real world challenge for our students, which can be put into something like this, yeah? How do scientific principles, like, for example, water pressure, work in real world? Not all of the people think about how pressure underwater works, right? But all of us, when we go to the sea or to, I don't know, to the ocean or to water, yeah? We try to keep breathing underwater so we see what's going on there, yeah? Especially our younger students. And so they want to know, yeah, how it works, why somebody can keep breathing for longer time while others don't, and so on and so on, yeah? And the project here is called Do the Experiment. Yeah, it's fun, to be honest with you. I haven't tried it myself, but I'm very tempted to do so. So we have the instructions here, yeah, that help us follow along with the experiment, yeah. And does the water act differently at different pressures? And you even can cooperate with your physics teacher at your school and read with your students the instructions here, yeah? You can even try to match the topics with your colleague who teach physics, and you can ask to like, so we will be doing this on our lesson, and can you like put it into work in your lesson, yeah? Can they actually do it with the appropriate supervision, yeah? And they, of course, students, when at your English lesson, they need to read the instructions, they need to understand those instructions, which seem somewhat complex, let's be honest, yeah? They need to collaborate, yeah, because they read and they understand, yeah? They need to collaborate together, work in pairs and group or groups, again, with the physics teacher, or you can, if it's not possible for some reason, you can have them work together in groups and ask them to, I don't know, film a video, yeah, or take pictures, yeah, to show the process of them doing this experiment, yeah. And of course, they need to write their observations of the experience of the experiment happening, yeah. They need to fill the observation and the conclusion sections that they have here in the project section, and of course they need to present their findings. So it's an extension part of the project. If you want to, you can use this type of project to check their writing skills, or if they will actually be presenting them, speaking, of course, speaking skills, yeah. So it's not, in a way, it's not just learning English, yeah? It's using English to be scientists, for the day, which sounds really fun to me, at least, because in my day and age, when I was at school, we didn't have such pages in our textbooks, and we didn't actually have like these kinds of projects that we had to complete. So I'm very excited for our NUSH students that have such amazing textbooks and such amazing experiences during lessons, because they work with things like this. One more example from Full Blast Plus. Here we combine culture and ICT literacy. So again, Full Blast Plus, grade 8. Yes, Pani Elena, exactly that. And we have, yeah, our Ukraine, our own Ukraine, yeah, and it's called A Land of History and Diversity. And we also, you can see that we have like a small vocabulary section at the bottom of the page 121, where we have all of the explanations, yeah, of some difficult vocabulary. And we, again, have a real world challenge, yeah, that our students encounter here. So how is our country's linguistic diversity is similar or different from other countries? Yeah, a very on time topic, right? And to be honest with you, I love that Full Blast has such amazing culture pages. Prepared has them too, but to me, I'm being honest here, Full Blast is my true love. I love it very much. And when I was a teacher, I was using Full Blast while teaching my students, so it has a special place in my heart. But let's take a look at how the project will work here. Yeah, so what's the project task here? So we need to make a language diversity map. Sounds very interesting, but also very hard, right? But to be honest with you, I think it's a brilliant task, because students need to read the text that is provided. Yeah. So again, what skills are integrated here? They read the text on the diversity of Ukraine. Yeah, they of course need to collaborate, because they need to break into smaller groups. Yeah, then choose another country apart from Ukraine. Yeah, find the information on the internet about that country, about different languages or dialects that exist in that country, that are spoken in that country, and it will require them to research this topic very extensively, yeah, because they probably, while they will follow the first 2 or 3 sources they will find, sometimes while working with those first 3 sources, primary sources, they will find other sources that will help them gather some additional material, or maybe some recordings or videos that will show that dialect, yeah, or that language actually being spoken in that country. Then students need to, of course, discuss, yeah, and divide the roles between themselves. When they are creating the map, they, of course, can integrate their ICT skills. They can create a paper map or a digital one. It depends on what they choose to do, right? And they write their own text or labels, if you want to call them, to indicate where that dialect is spoken, in which regions, and so on, or list the languages that are spoken in that particular country that they have chosen, and so on, yeah? So it will involve not just writing, but designing, yeah? So what they will be doing. It's a perfect opportunity for them to actually put into practice what they know, yeah, how they work with digital materials. And finally, they present it, yeah? So they present their map to the class. So basically, they are acting as cultural researchers and geographers. Yeah, sounds almost unbelievable, yeah, to somebody who is not into the teaching part, yeah, of the process. But we are giving our students the opportunity to try different roles, because that way they will find things that work for them, that are interesting for them, and in a way we are helping them see how diverse the world around them is, and nothing is as simple as they can think it is. Also, we can have like micro projects. Yeah, so project-based learning is not always, it isn't always a long time thing. So like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, a month, or something like that. Yeah, it can be put into a micro project that will take 1 lesson or maybe 2 at most. So one of the examples that I'm showing you right now is writing from Prepare, grade 8. And here we have a task for our students to write their online profile. Yeah, so this is a real world task that they probably have done already, but didn't think much about it. Yeah, they read the examples that are presented in the Prepare to Write section. And they need to remember, yeah, that the challenge here is that they need to introduce themselves to a global audience, because if they write an online profile of theirs on some platform, yeah, other people will read it, not just those who know them, but others who don't know them. And they need to be careful, yeah, how they write about themselves. Of course, the project can be called, yeah, write your own online profile. They can do it in their copybooks, or they can like put it onto the A4 sheet of paper and draw the actual window from that social media site that they will be using. Yeah, they can get creative with it. And the skills that we will be working on, yeah, they are reading, because students need to read the information that is given to them, yeah, that they are required to write on their online profiles, and of course writing for an authentic purpose, something that happens to basically everybody. Also, one more example from Full Blast Plus, grade 8. So here we have okay, let me go back. So we have the end of the textbook, module 8, and here is the topic about holiday plans. Yeah, and here we are talking about winter break, but we know that the school year ends in spring, and usually students have summer break. So on the winter breaks, they have like discovered, yeah, everything that comes to planning their winter break and asking for information and so on and so on. Yeah, the main task here that they have, it exists in the section at the end of the textbook that is called peer work activities, and here they need to look at the holiday advertisement, however you want to call it, and write a letter, yeah, a formal letter to ask for more information. Yeah, so you want to go on a break, on a summer break, you have seen the advertisement, and you want to know more about this option, yeah, and you write an email to ask for that information. And it's a skill, yeah, again, that shows our students that they need to read the information that they are given, yeah, think critically, then write a letter that will showcase what they want to know. Yeah, so a formal, purposeful email. It's connecting, yeah, some things to real world, because more often than not, not in this point in time, but sometime later, students will need to write messages or letters to other people that they don't know to learn more additional information. And we are giving them the opportunity to do this in a fun way, yeah? So something that always is creating a sense of panic, yeah, or maybe another pain point that we mentioned before is the management of the process, yeah. So it will be chaos. Well, how everything, there's lots of things to do. How can I make it all work, and so on and so on, yeah. So one of the fears can be that students, yeah, that we think students don't know how to work on a project, how to actually do it, yeah. Or maybe that one student will do all of the work that needs to be done by a group of students. More often than not, it's one of the biggest concerns that we have, yeah? And of course, how do I grade it? How do I decide which grade I give to every student in the group and make it fair for everyone else, yeah? And the solution here is very easy, yeah? We don't just assign the product, yeah? We don't just assign them to do the presentation, to create a poster or something like that. We explicitly teach them, yeah, how to do it, and we help them with scaffolding the process, yeah? Because more often than not, what we assess is the product, the end result of their work. But we forget to teach our students the process, how it all comes to life, yeah, how it all works. For this, why do I love Full Blast Plus so much? Is because they have at the back of Full Blast Plus 8, they have this page, which is called Project Skills, and it provides a step-by-step guide for students and for teachers, yeah, on how to successfully plan the project and accomplish it. You can also use my methodological article that was published a little bit earlier this week. It also has a 6-stage plan on how to work with projects in the classroom, so you can use it also. But if you use Full Blast Plus, yeah, you already have this like plan in your textbook already. So it explicitly teaches, yeah, students the stages of a successful project. It guides them through brainstorming, where they generate ideas for the project that they will be working in. They give ideas on how brainstorming works, yeah, how it all comes to life, basically. Also, yeah, it helps them with planning, because it has a checklist for the planning process. It helps to organize ideas, delegate different tasks between the group of students, yeah. It also helps them with research, yeah, so where to look for the information and how to make it all work. How to create the product that you are working on, yeah, so ideas and advice on writing, design, the creation process. Also, yeah, the reminder that you need to proofread what you created before you actually submit it. And of course, the tips on presentation, yeah, how to present your product, or the product of your struggles, yeah, what you have done. And basically, you can build your lessons when it comes to projects around these stages, yeah. And this scaffolding method helps to solve the management problem. And we can put all of these project skills into practice I will show you like a plan of 4 lessons when it comes to working on projects. You can, of course, manage them however you like. Yeah, you can make some parts smaller, bigger, and so on and so on. So I'm just showing you one of the ideas how you can make it work. Yeah, okay, so it's not the directive to do just like I told you. It's your free will on what you want to do with it. Yeah. So, for example, in practice, it can look like this. Yeah, so we can take our diversity, language diversity map, and use it as a base. Yeah. So, for example, we have our first lesson after we have read the text. Yeah, so we show students the skills, the project skills page, and they start working with it. Yeah, so they brainstorm some ideas. So what would make a good language diversity map? Yeah, we divide them into groups, and they choose the countries, yeah, so they don't clash later on. So while they are in the classroom, while you have divided them into groups, each group decided on a country, yeah, after like searching, or maybe they already have their own ideas on which countries they would like to think, yeah, to discover different things. And of course, when they have decided on the country, they start to assign roles to each other within the group, yeah, using the plan section from the project skills page. Then we have our second lesson, which can be titled research/create, yeah. So students use the research tips to gather the data that they will need to create their project, yeah. So they are working on a project not outside of the classroom but inside the classroom, which allows you to actually see the process of how they are creating this, yeah. And then they start using the create tips to build their map on paper or maybe digitally, depending on the approach that they have chosen to go with, yeah. Then we have our third lesson, which can be titled proofread/present, yeah. So students use the proofread checklist to check their creations, yeah. Then they use the present tips to prepare their short presentation speech. And of course, lesson 4, if needed, of course, can be just titled present, and the groups present their maps to the class. Those who didn't get the opportunity on lesson 3, they do it right now, yeah? Because more often than not, we give students projects as homework, yeah, and they need to finish it at home, and we don't actually see how they worked on the projects. That's why sometimes it creates this situation where we don't exactly know for sure, yeah, how to grade the work. And it will lead us to our fear, yeah, of that grading, yeah. So grading a project is a subjective thing, yeah, because how can you be fair when it comes to group work, especially if you haven't seen what they were doing, yeah. So how do I grade group work? What if one student did nothing, yeah, one student did everything and the others just stood by and make it look like they did something, yeah. And of course, it's too much work to grade projects, yeah. There are teachers who think like this. The solution here is something that I already mentioned to you, yeah? So assess the process of the creation of the product, not just the product. You, of course, can ask your students to like provide feedback on, I don't know, Google form or something like that, yeah, to see what they write about each other's contribution. But again, it's an additional thing you need to do to gather that feedback. If they do it in the classroom, you can see it firsthand. Yeah, and of course, use a clean, simple rubric that will show your students what they need to do to get a certain grade. Yeah, this will help to help your students to see that your grading is objective, and of course, it will make it very fast. So, my solution, my example here. Again, you can like change it and do it however you like. So here I have put like 20 points, yeah, but again, you can make it into 12 points because we will have 4 things that we use to like grade the project in. Again, you can change the numbers however you like. But first, we are assessing the collaboration and the process. Yeah. So we, as teachers, look at what they were doing, how it was going, and of course, we involve self-assessment here. So we ask students, what do you think was your contribution after they have presented their work? Yeah. The second part is research and content. Yeah, so is the information that was presented in the project, is it accurate? Is it detailed? Or maybe it was just a collection of information that they found on the internet and it just skimmed over some major things and didn't go into detail. Yeah. Number 3 is the language use. So for example, is the English that they use to write or to present the project with, is it accurate for their level? Yeah, can they actually use it, or they just used AI to generate the text for them? And of course, the final project, yeah, the final product. So is that map, the diversity map, or the presentation or the poster that they have created, is it clear, is it creative, and is it complete? Yeah. And what are the benefits for your students in all of this? Yeah, it teaches your students the autonomy and of course the agency, because they take ownership of what they have learned and how they used it. Yeah, it provides them with authentic practice in all of the 4 skills that they need to improve on. Yeah, so it's not each skill in isolation, it's them all being integrated in between each other. Yeah, it's the option to improve, yeah, to build the 4 C skills: the collaboration, the communication, critical thinking, and of course creativity. It's the relevance to the real world, yeah, because students finally see why English matters, and they have the answer to this question, why it matters so much, right? Okay, so do you have any questions? Thank you, Pani Ruslana, so much. Thank you. So I see that we don't have questions in the chat box, but if you do have questions, here's the information that you can use to find me, yeah, to call me, text me using my phone number. This phone is on Viber, on Telegram, so you can use it to contact me whichever way you prefer. You can write me a letter if you want to, using my email. And of course, know that I will always be happy to help you all. And if you are interested, you can get your hands on all of the other components for our courses for 8th grades, yeah, Prepare and Full Blast. Thank you everyone for joining me here today. Thank you for listening to me. Hopefully you learned something interesting, something useful for yourself. If you did, I see that you are sending me lots of smiley faces, lots of hearts, lots of thumbs up. Thank you so much, Pani Oksana. Thank you. And I hope that your projects with your students will become that much more fun and insightful for everyone. Stay safe. Take care of yourself, of your families, of your students, and I hope to see you during my next webinar in December. Thank you everyone so much for nice words. Yeah, thank you so much, and yeah, stay safe, and I will see you very, very soon. Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.